This tutorial will help walk you through the installation of the digital I/O card and the BTB1 in either a Thunderbolt chassis or in a PCI-Express computer. The photographs in this tutorial all show the installation of the digital I/O card in a Thunderbolt chassis. The slot in a PCI-Express computer is virtually identical, but obviously the physical access by removing the cover and so forth is quite different. For hand tools, you will need a number 2 Phillips screwdriver and a small adjustable wrench. If you are installing into the Thunderbolt chassis, you can begin by loosening the thumb screws on the end of the chassis and sliding out the metal frame that holds the circuit boards. If you are installing into a PCI-Express Macintosh, the side to the computer opens up, and inside you will obtain access to the PCI-Express card slots. If this installation tutorial is a little dry for your tastes, Otherworld Computing has published a series of installation videos, complete with drum rolls and a cheesy music track. The PCI-Express slot is typically sealed with a metal PCI bracket. The bracket should be removed and can be discarded. The Thunderbolt chassis includes a cooling fan, which is not needed for the Synclavier³ digital I/O card. For most installation, you can turn the cooling fan to off. The digital I/O card connects to the BTB1 via 2 flat cables. The 2 flat cables share a single strain relief. This is required to let them fit into the Thunderbolt chassis. We will typically ship the cable connected to the BTB1. The end that connects to the digital I/O card will have to be fed into the Thunderbolt chassis or the PCI-Express computer and secured to the digital I/O card. The digital I/O card includes a strain relief that's fabricated from 2 metal plates. The nut that holds the upper plate in place will need to be removed. If you are working on a PCI-Express computer, be very careful not to drop the loose nut into the computer chassis. The flat cables connect to the digital I/O card using the 2 flat cable sockets as shown. Make sure the cable sockets are firmly seated. Once the flat cables have been connected to the digital I/O card, the 2 metal plates of the strain relief can be put into place. Again, be very careful not to drop the nuts into your computer chassis. The digital I/O card and flat cable assembly can now be inserted into the PCI-Express slot. A third hand or perhaps telekinetic powers might be useful at this point. The completed assembly is somewhat fragile, and the entire system needs to be handled with care.